Hello, everyone. Welcome back to yet another political episode. Today, we'll be touching base on Wisconsin, our second to last, of course, review for the presidential election series. We're starting to close up with Wisconsin. We'll close with Wyoming after all. But let's talk about Wisconsin, the very last swing state we're talking about. Now, surprisingly, Wisconsin was actually the most liberal out of the swing states. You would think, for sure, the state of, like, for instance, Michigan would be more liberal. And we all thought that. Red Eagle Politics thought it would be more conservative this time around, be more liberal, like it usually is. That was not necessarily the case. And let's see here. Wisconsin, yeah, it is by margin-wise, margin-wise, Wisconsin was just 0.1% more conservative liberal than said Michigan. Surprising, eh? So I'm going to go ahead and look at these maps. So yes, take a look here. Yeah, Wisconsin is in the tilting Republican margin. Although I kind of disagree on how this map is made, I tend to really reflect on, for instance, Nevada, Michigan, Georgia, North Carolina, and Pennsylvania in the tilting margin. But Wisconsin is the only state that Donald Trump or Kamala Harris is the only state that voted for the winning candidate by less than a point, proving how much it's changed in Wisconsin. It's a pure battleground. It's a toss-up. No real side has a sort of momentum there. And something to keep in mind about. No real side has good momentum in the state of Wisconsin. It was purely a toss-up from the beginning. And to be honest, I think the polls were right. I mean, looking at the 2024 polls, you'll see even in the beginning of this year, Wisconsin was going all in for Joe Biden. Let's see if we still have those hypothetical polls, including Trump and Biden. Yes, look at here. All these polls going in for Joe Biden, although a lot of polls were out of the margin of error itself, which was very, very questionable. It really it did look like a blue, as you know, in the average, like two Real Clear Politics had Wisconsin blue and Michigan red, and everyone was like, that isn't right. Well, it wasn't that necessarily correct. Obviously, Wisconsin went red, but not as much as I was expecting. I was actually expecting Trump to win this by over a point, but I was wrong on that expectation. What I was also wrong was our prediction. You see, I basically predicted the state to look exactly like, in my scenario, the 2020 race. And that's, if you look at the videos of a few days before the presidential race began, when that, election night, a few days before election night, you'll see that we had 14 counties for Harris, and the rest of them went to Trump. This is what we really said it was going to look like for a long time. The county that we didn't really know which would go to was Door County. And Door County was very indecisive. And we decided that county would go to Kamala Harris. I had doubts on that, but ultimately I was shocked to know that I was pretty accurate. Door County voted for Kamala Harris, which surprised me, seeing how barely it went to Joe Biden. You'll see in 2020 altogether. County-wise, take a look at Door. All right, 1.45%. This county was previously a county that Trump carried in 2016. In fact, it pretty much looks like this looks like the 2024 map. The only difference is Door County is in for Republicans. Now this time around, Door County is with the Democrats, the second time in a row. I was actually hoping that Portage and Greene counties would actually sway more to the right this time around. Did it? No. But I do think it's getting really, really close to. I think in some elections and like the midterms, I think we could be successful. But let's take a look. I don't think we have the county results in. We'll have to go up and look at Wisconsin election here. Election. Presidential race. Yes. So, yes, looking here, you'll see Greene County right here. It's extremely tight, and in a small duration of the race, it was actually going for Trump. However, it seems like I think in the future we could pick up this county. I think this county will be picked up in the midterms or something. Wisconsin has a race every single year, so there's that superintendent of public education, a public instruction race that usually takes place in Wisconsin next year in the spring, but I have no doubt about it, that will go to Democrats. It usually does. This is about education, and education is a Democrat thing, unless Republicans and conservatives really crack down on that woke agenda that Democrats want so badly in our schools. That would be, of course, an indicator. But seeing how tight this race was compared to, like, Michigan and Pennsylvania, Wisconsin was tight. And when you look at demographics, it all makes sense. Let's take a look at Dane County, because that is, of course, a college county. And although it has the capital of Madison, but then again, Dane is more liberal and more woke, despite having Madison, the second biggest city. It's more that this is a college community, a more college city. You see, it voted Democratic first starting its streak in 1960 and going onward. Okay, it trended right by 1 point backward. Okay, 74.88%. Okay, 1 point to the right. Okay, I mean, doesn't all counties go to the right? In most counties, yeah, they end up going to the right, of course. Yeah, there's a town of Dane. But you get what I'm saying. Yeah. 561,000 people. That did play an indicator. Milwaukee. So things didn't really change other than I wish we had like a map. And I mean, look at this. November 4th, CNN analysis, and Sabutu's crystal ball was saying lean Democrat. And they're not wrong, but look at above. You got the candidates. You got, of course, Jill Stein taking votes. And then she didn't take out much votes I was hoping for her to take out. So what are the basic changes from 2020 to 2024? Well, here are the changes. Looking at this map, okay? Greene and Portage County got more lighter, okay? Meanwhile, Door County seemed to get more liberaler. It's more bluer compared to the light shade of blue that was given. Columbia County, more redder. Sauk County, more redder, even though it significantly went to Democrats. Sauk County, I also want to believe there is some sort of, I believe it's a college community, a college town. Let's take a look at Sauk County. College, university. Yeah, I don't think there's a university. It's just overall Democratic overall. 2 points for Donald Trump. He gained 2 points there. We can honestly just look at here. Columbia was pretty good. Despite Columbia actually going to Tony Evers, this was a very concerning county for me because in some instances, we gave this county to Kamala Harris. I don't think we actually gave this county to Kamala Harris, but we were so close because, as you know, during that Kamala surge, Wisconsin was getting bluer. We didn't know if, of course, Columbia would go for her. But eventually, it actually went to Trump, as it had in the last two races. 53% in Brown County. Okay? yeah, you'll see it's a very tight race, but Portage County was a little bit more liberal compared to Greene, and Greene County doesn't really have a reason to be liberal, honestly. It doesn't really have a reason, in my opinion. Why is Greene County liberal? Well, I honestly do not know. Oh yeah, it had long been settled by Native Americans, but then again, I don't think it's Native American now. I mean, okay, until the 1992 presidential election, Greene County voters primarily backed the Republican Party candidate in national elections. Prior to that year, the only times they failed to win the county were in the midst of a divided vote in 1912, the presence of Wisconsinite Robert La Follette on the ballot in 1924, and National Democratic Party landslides in 1932, 1936, and 1964. From 1992 onward, the county has backed the Democratic candidate in every presidential election, though their margins have been often very relatively narrow. Because then again, they don't really have a reason to vote Democrat. These are farm town communities. I mean, explain to me why, explain to me. There has to be one community or one town that, these are, there's two cities. Broadhead, mostly in Rock County, which I will admit has a university. They do have a good population, 163,000 people. But then there is Greene County, and there's Monroe. Great. I mean, these are small little cities. Is there a college? This is a farming community. See, guys? Look, a farm. And this county's voting Democrat. And then again, there's communities that are just stubbornly Democratic. Just take a look at the relatively more recent election of 2008. Well, it wasn't really recent. But it was definitely in my lifetime. I was 4, so I was alive for it. But look at farming communities, solidly blue. And the areas that Trump won, they're relatively blue. Very relatively blue. You got Jefferson County here, it's more lighter. But then again, the farming vote helped Barack Obama pull in a landslide in Wisconsin. It gets a little lighter. Even Greene County got a little lighter there. But you get what I'm saying. Greene County is an annoying county. It's a spoiler county because they get you all excited. They get Republicans excited, and then out of the sudden, they go and jump to the Democrat camp. It's a big spoiler county. And that with Portage County, too. But Portage County has a city. A big, it's like a college city. It's definitely a college city. And that city is the city of Stevens Point. And yeah, that city is a city of 25,000 people. Yeah, it's a relatively big, large. Yes, it has the campus of Mid-State Technical College. So it's a college county. So maybe I should kind of do a series where I actually point out why the counties, each county in the United States is Democrat, mainly on Democrat counties, because once again, there are very little Democrat counties compared to the 3,000 counties that vote Republican every single year in the United States. But yeah, I probably will do that in the community tab until. But yeah, it's an idea. It would probably be because of population, colleges, campuses, and race, but. I find that very interesting. But what do you guys think in regards to our prediction? And before I end, I want to touch base with the northern area. I find it interesting. Douglas County, pretty close. Pretty tight in Douglas County. Let's check out Douglas. Douglas County, who knows? Maybe we can win it someday, but I'll tell you this. It's like Ramsey County. I think it started voting Democratic in the same period as Ramsey County. Very influenced by Duluth in Minnesota. Has a university there. It has a city of Superior. I am very familiar with that city. My relatives live up there. I go there every year. It's pretty liberal. You see BLM signs everywhere. But if you guys remember, the ballot measures in the spring elections in Wisconsin, Douglas County significantly backed the conservative option, which was surprising. Yeah, you'll see the numbers here are extremely close in 2024. Take a look. Using our pathetic calculator from Google. We'll go ahead. Okay, 5.32. While it significantly... So it trended to the right by like 2 points. And I believe supposedly this county, Douglas County, which has been an ancestral Democrat stronghold, clearly isn't a Democrat stronghold anymore. It voted throughout history as in the 70 to the 60%. Now it's teetering in the 5 percentage point for Democrats. So Democrats are losing strength there. Democrats are massively losing strength, which is amazing. But yes, who knows? Maybe if we, all I know, guys, is all it takes is 2028. They vote Democrat, and they vote Democrat in 2 more elections. We can say Douglas County, Wisconsin, has voted Democrat for 100 years. But there are other counties that are more in question than just Douglas County. What about that county? The counties neighboring Douglas County that are just so stubbornly Democratic. Bayfield County. Bayfield. Well, let's just take a look at Ashland. People say, oh, why is Ashland so blue? Well, Ashland has a community. Ashland. And that's what's pretty much what's keeping it from being Republican. In other words, I think there's a college. Oh, yes, there are a lot of colleges here. It is home to Northland College, Northwood Technical College, and the Sigurd Olson Environmental Institute. So this, obviously, presidential elections-wise, this city is 62%, and it's only a city of 7,000 people. And yeah, I've been to Ashland. Some of my relatives live there. Doesn't seem to be more of a liberal city, but those institutions is what makes it overwhelmingly Democratic. The county that really gets me, though, is Bayfield, which is right here, tucked between Ashland and Douglas. Bayfield is absolutely rural. No one really lives there. 16,000 people. Who would live there? There is the city of Washburn. It's, of course, the capital. It's the said county seat. And this city, boy, it's 73% Democrat as of 2020. 2,000 people. Why is it so Democrat? Bayfield County is a Democratic basin, having voted for a Democrat in every presidential election since 1932, except for 3 nationwide Republican landslides in 1952, 1956, and 1972. I don't know why this county is Democrat. Is there a college in this county? Because one thing we've learned about in this series is about these colleges, tucked into these rural Democrat areas. But is it just me? Because no one really, what we're looking at right now is no one lives on the coast. Like, no cities, just a little census designated area. You just have Washburn right here, strong Democrat stronghold. So I don't know. Maybe it's because of registered voters. It's just ancestral Dems from Douglas County and Ashland County that are just going in and out, and just people, it just leaves a populistic mess here. So I honestly do not know, but if you are from let's just say Bayfield County, we need to go. I've gotten to Bayfield. I can never understand the reasoning of why it's Democrat. Some people say it's the lake. No, it's not. It cannot be the lake because no one's living by the lake. But what do you guys think about our analysis? Deep dive in one of America's crucial battleground swing states. Let me know down below, and as always, I will see you all in the next political episode, the last political episode of the series.